Hey, what's up everyone? Bonjour à tous. How's everyone doing? So this weekend, I'm going to Kyo and Brina's house to work on my Tanjiro's cosplay. I'm going to work on... He's going to have me... Hey, what's up everyone? Bonsoir. Hey, what's up everyone? Bonjour à tous. How's everyone doing? So today I'm going to Kyo and Brina's house because today I'm going to be working on Tanjiro's sword. Let's go! Alright, so I am in Kiro's garage. He's going to show me his progress on the Tanjiro sword. Oh wow, look at this. It looks really nice. Oh, that looks good. So what's this part right here? Is that made of...
this is metal.
A piece of metal?
Yeah.
Okay,
and the handle's gonna go on it.
Okay.
So the metal goes all the way into the blade. It goes like the whole way, so it's pretty rigid. And it's filled with resin also.
Nice. Okay.
I have one printed for you also, so you guys can make one just like
Yeah, nice. It looks really good.
It's pretty straight too. If you look at it, like there's not really much. Like it's not really.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the prints, you'll have a print that's kind of like the same way.
It looks pretty sturdy too.
Yeah, I mean, like it has some wiggle to it, but it's like it's straight, like you're holding it.
Yeah, no, like it's.
Like pose with it and stuff.
Yeah, it looks really good. Let me get a close up of the guard. Look at this. Wow, it looks really good. Yeah, that looks awesome. Oh wow, look at this room. He cleans everything.
It's still in progress, but it's a lot cleaner.
Oh yeah, it's so much cleaner.
I'm still cleaning out stuff, like I'm gonna put all those boxes like under here. I need to clean out the rest of like the old filament that's down there. I'm gonna clean that out and put my shipping boxes down in there, and then put like the medicine ball like or the exercise ball.
Okay.
I've got like my shield out on display.
Yeah, that looks good right there. I like the little link right there.
Yeah, it's almost clean. And I just have to kind of like move stuff around. I'm gonna do that a little bit today, so I'm gonna help you, and then I'm gonna probably like clean a little bit more in the house today.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, so this is all of the different sword pieces, 3D printed. So what you saw before was the sword completely assembled, but it comes 3D printed like this first.
Yeah, it's in two halves.
Okay.
And it's all of this. We have to clean out all of the support material out of here.
Yeah.
So we have to clean all of this out for all of these pieces.
Because that's hollow for the metal bar, right?
Yeah, this is hollow for the metal bar. So this gets cleaned out, and then we're gonna glue all these pieces together very carefully. You have to glue it in such a way whenever you glue it, it's straight, and I'm gonna show you how to do that whenever you glue it. You basically use some tools, and then whenever you glue it, you like clamp it together in such a way, and then it cures and it's perfectly straight. So I've got some like thick metal blocks that you glue it together with. Like the print itself is only like that thick. That top layer is what is actually the sword, and all of this on the inside we're gonna take out. And then we're gonna fill the whole thing with resin.
Okay. Oh, that's very smart.
Yeah. So then it's sturdy, you know, because like the print is just the outer shape of it, but the structure is going to be from the resin and the metal bar on the inside. Gotcha.
Then Kiro showed me how to clean the 3D prints and how you need to be very careful with the edge, because the edge is really thin. So once you've done that, you also need to clear the inside of the blade, which is hollow, and it only has support material. So yeah, that was the hard part of cleaning the 3D prints. And so this is with the support material, and that is without the support material. So there's no more of the support material, so they're ready to be glued on. So how do we glue them?
So this is a kind of glue that is a solvent glue.
Okay.
The solvent glue will chemically bond the plastic to itself. It's stronger than super glue.
Oh really?
But, yeah, it just takes longer to cure, but we have time to let it cure. So overall it'll just be like a better bond for putting this whole thing together.
Okay.
So I'm just going to apply it in a small amount. It's like a water-thin liquid. And what it'll essentially do is it'll melt the ABS plastic down onto itself.
I see. So both materials are literally going to fuse?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be impossible for it to come back apart.
So does it stick to your finger or?
No. It's like a, I mean, it's like a,
solvent?
Yeah, it's like a solvent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like acetone, sort of.
Yeah.
Like lacquer thinner. So it's not sticky like super glue is.
I like the needle for precision.
Yeah.
For precision gluing.
And you have a lot of working time with this too.
Okay.
So if you look here, it's already started soaking in. You see how it doesn't look as wet? It's like soaking in there.
Yeah.
And you have a little bit of time to work with it, so. I'm gonna put it on itself. And then start lightly pressing it together. And then it'll give me some time to actually move it around and make sure that this is like fully aligned. And the seam doesn't need to look pretty right now just because we're gonna sand it back down anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanna make sure that this is glued as even as you can get it. And that's why I like using this glue also, is because super glue you get like 10 seconds to work with this, but this glue you have like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then once you press it together for like 2-3 minutes, it'll hold together on its own, and you don't have to worry about clamping it or anything necessary.
Okay.
So,
Pretty cool. And so that's specifically for
ABS,
plastic?
Yeah. Okay. ABS plastic.
ABS plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. What you print is ABS plastic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I print ABS. ABS is easier to sand. You can use solvent glues like this to bond it together, which is really nice. We just want to get the edges as close together as they can be. I mean, once we actually sand this, it'll look very precise.
Alright, so now just need to let it rest, I guess.
Yep. And you can see now that it's glued, it's got that.
Oh yeah, okay.
The hole, and that's going to be filled with resin entirely.
Yep, alright, to make it sturdier.
Make it sturdy.
So then, after cleaning the first two 3D printed pieces, I had to glue them together, so I carefully put the glue on the side of each pieces and then put them on together, and voila. And after letting the pieces dry for a few minutes, I had to sand the edge and make sure everything was nice and smooth. And now let's check the inside of the sword.
Alright, so you're going to show us the inside of the blade?
Yeah. So
Right.
the handle is halfway printed. It's still printing the other half right now.
Okay.
The blade sockets into it partway, and this metal rod that goes all the way through the whole blade, it sockets into the handle here, and then once we glue the handle together, I'm going to fill the whole handle up, this whole empty cavity, I'm going to fill it with resin. So then this is all the way into the handle, so it's structural all the way through the blade.
Gotcha, because right now this is kind of like free moving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but if it's filled with resin, then it's going to be like solid.
Solid, yeah.
Okay.
And it'll be like nice and weighty in your hand too. So the handle will feel heavier than the blade will too, so it'll feel nice when you hold it.
Gotcha.
This is the part here that slides over the blade. So this is the blade and this is the habaki. This is going to need like some sort of hammer texture on it.
Okay.
And I'm going to have a friend help me with that in Fusion. But this sockets all the way up to the handle here. This goes all the way in.
Okay, so that's the part that holds the handle with the upper part of the sword?
Yeah, so this piece is the blade, and then this whole opening is where that metal rod is coming out, and the metal rod was right in this cavity.
Yeah.
And then there's a cap that goes that way. So then there's going to be another little end cap here.
Yeah.
That will cover this, and this hole is for whenever you wrap the handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like the traditional wrap. So this is just kind of like the end cap. I might try to put some details on this still, but we'll see.
And so you modeled all of that by yourself, right?
Yeah. It's not that complicated of a model. It's pretty simple.
Well, for people who don't do 3D modeling, it's impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
And so on that day, after talking a little bit more with Kiro, since he wanted to do Tanjiro as well, I've decided to change because we also have Rage Gear Prop, who's going to cosplay as Inosuke. So I thought that since we're just missing Zenitsu, I was like, alright, I guess I can cosplay as Zenitsu. So I guess now I'm Zenitsu. So yeah, then we started looking at some reference pictures for my blade. So the blade of Zenitsu and Tanjiro are pretty much the same. We just need to change the guard. So that's why Kiro was looking at some reference pictures to model the guard for my. Also, I brought my Tanjiro shoes that I've ordered on Taobao, and I made him try them, but apparently the shoes are way too small for him, so he's gonna have to order his own. Sorry. And after taking a little rest, it was time for me to get back to work, and here I'm removing the side of the blade and also the inside of the blade, as you can see right here. So yeah, I had to clean, I think, 2, 4, 6 other pieces, and that took much more time than I expected. And then Kyold showed me how to make the edge completely flat, so that when you put two pieces together, the blades look straight. So you can see how he's carefully trimming the edge on the flat surface to make sure that it's at a 90-degree angle. So then I double checked with him and we made some adjustments.
Once we put the glue on it though, it'll also make up for the slight difference in it. Because the glue kind of like, it melts the plastic down a little bit. And then whenever we actually glue it together, we're going to sandwich this. This is a perfectly flat surface and it's metal, so stuff won't really stick to this. And then we'll put glue on both of these, press these perfectly together like this, and then squish this with this down like that. So that'll be there, and then we'll basically just glue like that, because that's also perfectly straight. You know what I mean? So it'll be like that, and then we'll know for sure when it's glued, it'll be glued in a perfectly straight line.
Okay.
So then Kiro glued both pieces together, and then he put them in between the two pieces of metal. He also decided to clamp them, so you don't need to do that, but it was just a more safe and secure way of putting them together. And then we glued another two pieces together, and we got ready for dinner.
Yeah, we're taking a break from cosplaying, working on cosplay, and we're going to what seems like downtown Ackworth.
Yeah.
And we've never been here, so we're going to go grab pizza. We got some garlic nuts. Ooh, they're pretty hot.
Very hot.
Gonna wait a little bit. How are they?
Super yummy.
Are they good? Go ahead, go for it. Ooh, this pizza look really good. So what do we have? Which one's the lasagna?
This is the lasagna.
Lasagna.
Kali.
With curry. With the pork.
Yeah, pork belly.
Pork belly. Oh, the pork belly looks really good. And this is the fungi.
Then we went to the Frozen Cow ice cream place where they have nitrogen ice cream, and I believe I got matcha coconut ice cream, and wow, it was really good. It was one of the best ice cream I've ever had in Atlanta.
What did you get?
Cannoli.
How is it? The best. Yeah, just look at Brianna's face, you can tell it's good.
And after grabbing that delicious ice cream, we decided to stop by Home Depot to grab that piece of metal that I need for my sword. And it was not expensive at all. It was like maybe like $4, $3, $4, $5, something like that. And we also grabbed coffee.
What? They have free coffee at Home Depot. I've never seen that. I don't have that.
This is a bougie Home Depot.
I don't have that in my Home Depot.
And once back home, it was time to remove the clamp and remove the two pieces of metal and double check that everything was glued together straight.
Yeah, it's super straight. And I like the curve to it too. The curve of the blade. Yeah, it's really nice.
Because it's like a katana, you know, it needs to have that very slight curve.
Yeah, I like it.
So the next step is for you to, I need you to degrease this.
Okay.
So we have to clean it all the way off because if there's any grease on it, the resin will stick to the metal as well. So you need to clean the metal off, and then we're going to fill this with resin all the way up to the top. And then once the resin's all the way filled, I'm going to shove the rod in after it's already filled with resin. The resin's going to spill out, but it doesn't matter because you're going to sand the blade down in.
Okay. Cool.
And now here you can see Kyo aligning the piece of metal inside, well, on top of the sword, but that's how it's going to look inside. And as you can see, it's not entirely inside, it's actually touching the edge of the sword, which is a little problematic. So what he's going to do next is he's going to use a hammer and try to bend the metal rod just a little bit, just enough so that it can slide all the way inside. It worked out pretty well. So now you can see Kyo sliding the piece of metal inside the sword, and he's trying to feel with his fingers where it's going to end. And it needs to end not completely at the end because the pointy edge of the sword is very narrow. He needs to stop right before. So now he's putting a marker to know exactly where to stop the rod.
The main part that I'm going to need your help with is I'm going to need you, I'm going to grab this and like pour the resin and everything, and I'll just need you to pass me the clamps and then bring me the ruler over that way. Okay. So I'll have it all ready.
So right now, Kyo is mixing some resin that he's going to pour inside the sword, and we need to do this very quick.
So I'm going to fast forward this step for the sake of the video. So here you can see him pouring the resin inside the sword until it reaches the top, and then he's sliding that piece of metal inside. So by doing that, of course the resin is going to overflow, but it needs to do that to make sure that you're not leaving any air inside. And then he's clamping the sword with the metal ruler against that metal frame, just to make sure that the resin is going to dry straight, because the resin gets hot, so it can bend the plastic a little bit if you're not careful. And so by doing that, you're just making sure that your sword is going to dry straight.
On this, I'm just going to chisel off some of the resin that's filled up on this. And like, you're going to have to sand this whole blade down anyway, so all this resin that's on here isn't really, you don't have to worry about it too much. This is just going to save you a little bit of time of sanding.
Yeah, just to explain people what happened, so we waited for like maybe 30-40 minutes for the resin to solidify, and now it's done. It's cured. Oops, sorry.
No, you're good. I don't want to, just in case.
So it's cured, and now we took it out, and now we are just removing the extra resin that spilled over.
And like the resin really only wants to stick to itself, so it'll come off on its own pretty easily as it is.
Yeah.
I'm using the chisel just to make it a little bit easier to get it off, so you don't have to sand as much of the resin off.
And after showing me how to use the chisel and remove the resin, I decided to put my hands on it because, hey, come on, Carol, you can do all of my work. This is my sword, okay? I need to work on it.
Alright. This blade has the top flat edge, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the edge that is the actual blade itself. So we don't want to lose those details. We want to keep the details really nice and sharp. So that on this sword, it has the same, you can feel that there's a hard edge here.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that for this one as well. So to do that, you want to use a sanding jig. This is a piece of acrylic with sandpaper on it. The acrylic is structurally flat.
Okay.
If you're sanding by hand, your hand has that motion where it kind of rounds and it does this sort of thing. This can't go anywhere, so you have the sandpaper on it. You use this to sand, and you'll know that you're sanding completely flat. And then after you go at it for a while, you can see that.
So it really makes sure that you have a flat surface.
Yes, that you're sanding it with an actually true flat surface. And then you can also go at the edge too. Oh, you're having great.
Hey. Oh, it's so cute. Put it on camera.
Yes.
Oh, it's so cute. It's awesome.
No, you did get dirt on it. Oh,
Sorry.
you're up.
And then once again, after showing me how to do it, it was my turn to put my hands on the sword. And you know what? Actually, sanding the sword was pretty cool. It was pretty relaxing. It's very repetitive, but it had that kind of therapeutic effect on me somehow. I don't know how to explain it. You're just very focused on sanding the sword and trying to make it super smooth. There's that thing about sanding or polishing that's very therapeutic. It's like those YouTube videos where you can see people doing some knife sharpening on those sharpening stones. It's, I don't know, there's that's ASMR effect on me. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So what's that? What do you have
This
to
is Bondo. This is the activator, and then that's the actual stuff.
Oh,
It's a body filler.
I didn't know you need 2 of them.
Yeah.
So if you didn't put the activator, you would never
It
get
doesn't
hard.
cure. Yeah, it doesn't cure.
And so right now you're putting Bondo on the sword because there are some gaps, some tiny gaps that you need to fill.
You might need more Bondo. Usually whenever you do Bondo, you have to do it kind of like 2 times.
Okay.
Just to get everything on there.
Alright, so final step. Kyo put some Bondo onto the sword to fill all the little tiny gap that I couldn't sand down. Alright, and now it's dried. It's dried down, so now I can bring it back home. I'm going to finish sanding it. And yeah, I'll come back in 2 weeks to try to finish the blade. There's still a lot to do, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you can finish sanding it this week and you can give it to me next weekend, I can prime it for you. And then you can sand the primer 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Because you're almost done sanding that already, you know?
Okay.
Because I'm probably going to prime my blade like this week, so I can prime both of ours at the same time.
Okay, so finish it for next weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, well, thank you, Kyo, for helping me with the sword.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm excited for it. It looks really good.
Yeah, you did a great job on it.
Thank you. You mostly did everything.
No. I mean, I showed you how to do it, but then you did it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a really good learning process, so
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Alright, I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Peace.